If you want to know who Hillary is thinking about running for vice president, stay with me. In the next segment, I'm going to talk about it. But I want to first encourage you to be the voice for babies, the voice for the innocent. If you read Deuteronomy chapter 21, there's a teaching in there about blood guilt. And if the Jews came upon a murdered victim in a field, no one is at hand who knows who the killer was. God said that they were required to sacrifice an animal, and they were to say, "O Lord, our hands did not shed this blood, neither did our eyes see it. Turn your wrath away from Israel and don't lay upon us the guilt of innocent blood." They had to be able to pray, "Our hands did not shed this blood, and our eyes did not see it," which means we don't know who did this, okay? That was required of them for them to be exonerated. Because if there were people going, "Well, I know who killed him," I know. Then if at that point, if they hold their tongue, they're actually accessories after the fact. They share in the guilt of the murder. So, fast forward to today. Millions and millions of innocent human beings made in the image of God, brutally murdered, ripped limb from limb, burned to death with chemicals. We can't pray the prayer. Most of us can pray, "Lord, our hands did not shed this blood." We're not running abortion mills, but we cannot pray the prayer. Neither have our eyes seen it. We know who's doing it. We know where they're doing it. They advertise in our yellow pages, online. We know exactly where these babies are being butchered. And so we cannot pray the prayer. Our eyes did not see it. Therefore, we cannot ask God to exonerate us. It's frightening, friends. And we should have the fear of God. We should be afraid. Read Leviticus chapter 20, verses 1 through 5. In summary, what it says is that if anyone offers their children to Molech, who offers their children to pass through the fire, in other words, if someone takes their babies and offers them as a burnt offering, kills them, God said, you must punish them. But he says, and he goes on to say, but if you don't punish the people who are offering their children to Molech, if you let them get away with this, God says, I'll punish them, and I'm going to punish everyone who plays the harlot with them by letting this go on. So I come back to what I said in the last segment. Solomon offered his son. The earth didn't swallow him up. Fire and brimstone did not rain down from heaven. God was long-suffering. It took a while, but it happened. It happened. And I don't know what further punishments will come to us as a people. I don't know what God will require of our hands, because we cannot say, Lord, our hands did not shed this blood, and neither did our eyes see it. The late Francis Schaeffer, God rest his soul, and I think it was in his book, The Great Evangelical Disaster, he wrote that every abortion mill or abortion clinic, he would have said, in America needs to have a sign put over it that says, this abortion clinic operated with the permission of the Christian community. Most of our cities that have abortion mills, we outnumber the abortion mills 100 to 1 with our churches. Literally, 100 to 1, some places 200 to 1. And yet, most people never go down to the abortion mill, have never stood there and cried out against this evil or begged for the babies' lives when the mothers are walking in. Friend, there will be a price to pay for our negligence and for our sins of omission, and because we let these child killers get away with this, and we even put other things as a priority. You want to talk about a grievous sin against God? I want you to think of the number of Roman Catholic Christians, Protestant Christians, evangelical Christians who voted for Barack Obama not once, but twice. They knew his agenda to kill babies. They knew. And they voted for him. Not once, but twice. You think with me. You think with me about that level of guilt from the Christian community in the shedding of blood, that we would be so calloused, so committed to some political agenda, some partisan agenda, some economic agenda, that we would put human lives, innocent babies, at the back of the bus while we voted for someone who promised to kill them. We will give an account. We will. I'll be right back. Talk about who Hillary might be tapping as the VP pick.